Hey there, it's Matt from BullyBillows, and today we are talking about the double-ended training lead from BullyBillows. Now you might be thinking, hey, there's just 2 clips. What's so special about that? And that's what I'm excited to share with you. This is actually one of the most innovative leashes I've ever used as a dog trainer, and I think it has a lot of utility for dog owners out there. I'd even argue that if you had to break it down to one leash, one thing that you could bring with you, this would be the tool. So let's jump into some of the different ways that you can use the double-ended training lead. One of the coolest aspects of the double-ended training lead is the 3 different D-rings that are featured along the length of the lead. What this is going to allow you to do is change the length of the lead based on the situation and scenario that you find yourself in with your dog. Sometimes you might find that you need a very short leash. This is going to be great for everyday walking, easily guiding your dog without having to fumble a ton of leash around in your hand. Now, if you simply unclip the leash here and you put it on the next D-ring, you've got yourself a slightly longer lead that can be more useful for everyday training, some leash walking in terms of heeling and practicing a little bit more obedience while still having some slack in the leash. If you want to practice more long distance work or recall and have a more standard length of leash, you simply attach it on the longest length and you've got yourself a pretty standard looking leash right here. Now, one of my favorite ways to use the leash if you have a dog that understands the heel position and can walk quite nicely without a ton of pulling is to go hands-free. You can simply throw it around yourself just like this. Attach yourself to the middle D-ring, find your dog, and simply attach it to the collar or the harness, and be on your way. Heel. Good boy. And you can be hands-free, have your dog attached, maybe even doing a little bit of texting, but I wouldn't recommend it. Now you might be saying, Matt, that sounds wonderful, but I'm in the opposite position. I have a dog that's unruly, doesn't know the heel position, can't walk on a leash, and is pulling me all over the place. And in your case, this is still the perfect leash for you because you can unclip it right here, simply attach it here, and now you have an ability to kind of double manage the leash, give yourself a little bit more control and mobility with your dog. Now, maybe you find yourself in a situation where you need to practice some supervised tethering, or you need your hands, and you ultimately just need to know that your dog is going to be in a safe and reliable position. And in that case, the double-ended training lead is the perfect tool to use in order to do so. Come to any surface like this and use any of the D-rings to tether your dog to a place where you have use of your hands and you know that your dog is going to be safely secured to the post or whatever it is that you're tethering them to. Now, we don't have a second dog with us today, but if you're a dog owner that is living in a multi-dog household, the double-ended training lead is the natural solution for being able to manage 2 dogs at once. With both clips, you can attach one to either of your dogs, and you can also use the D-ring in the middle to attach a separate lead in order to have 2 different leads going out and give yourself some extra room on hikes, walks, and so forth. So that is the double-ended training lead by BullyBillows. Those are just a handful of the various ways that you can configure this leash in order to make it useful for your everyday life. This is probably one of the most multifaceted, multifunctional leashes I've personally ever used. I'd recommend it to any dog owner. I think that you'll find all kinds of new ways that you can use this leash as well. We're excited to hear what those are. So drop below in the comments if you already have this leash. Let us know what you've used it for, maybe some of the ways we hadn't mentioned here today. And if you haven't gotten yours already, go ahead to go to BullyBillows.com and snag yours today. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.